So the question reads, it says, this is number 6 here I'm looking at. It says, complete the table of values for the function y is equal to 2x plus 5 for the domain where x is greater than or equal to -2 or less than or equal to 2. Okay, when they gave this information here for the domain, what they're really referring to is that the graph actually will be coming from -2 and it's going to end at 2, which means it's going to be between this. That is all this is suggesting, that the graph is going to be between that. So this is what we call the domain, okay? So that's nothing to be confused about there. So that's the domain that we're looking at, how broad the graph would be. Here we have y, we have -2, underneath that we have a 1, we have -1, underneath that is a blank, then we have a 0, underneath that is a blank, we have a 1, underneath that is a blank, and then we have a 2, underneath that is a 9. So it's going to be our responsibility to fill out these spots here. What we're required to do, though, is that the x values are inputs and the y values are the outputs. So if you take a look on the idea, that is why it actually says that y is equal to 2x plus 5. So what this means is that we're going to plug in x values here. We're going to place inputs here, like the x values, and the result that we get would be our output, which is the y value there. So basically, we're going to substitute. So in other words, then, let's take a look at the first one. We want to work this out when x is equal to -1. So what is y when x is equal to -1? We're going to substitute -1 for x. So take a look at this. We're looking at 2x plus 5. X is now -1. You're going to put -1 where the x is. 2 times -1 is -2 plus 5, and this is going to give us 3. This is suggesting that y is 3. So for this x value, -1, y is 3 right there. So we just did this one here. Let's focus on when x is actually 0. So y is equal to 2x plus 5. But remember, this time x is equal to 0. We're going to put 0 where x is. For example, so y is equal to 2 times x. This is going to be the 0 plus 5. Anything times 0 is a 0. So this part is a 0 plus 5. So basically, y is equal to 5. So it means that we're going to put 5 underneath that 0. The last one that we have to work out is, I could put it beside this. So for the last one, we're going to be working out 1. So y is equal to 2x plus 5. But in this case, x is equal to 1. So again, y is equal to 2 times 1 plus 5. So this is 2 plus 5. Y is equal to 7. So underneath the 1 is a 7. So that would have been the completed table. We're going to plot those points, right? So every x and the y value together is actually what we call a coordinate. So I could write the coordinates here. So we got -2 with 1 from the question. We came up with -1 with 3. We came up with 0 with 5. We came up with 1 with a 7. But we got 2 with 9 from the question. So what we're going to do now is to plot these to complete the graph. Let's plot those points. So remember, the first values are x. So this is an x value, that's a y. This is a x, that's a y, and it goes on like that. So the x values are first, followed by the y all the time. This is the x-axis, as you could see there, and here is the y-axis. So let us plot those points very quickly. So we're going to plot -2 with 1. -2 must be on the x-axis. It's right here. So -2 with 1 is right here. Then we're going to plot -1 with 3. So -1 with 3 is right here. We're going to plot 0 with 5. 0 with 5 is right here. We're going to plot 1 with 7. 1 with 7 is right here. So 2 with 9 is right here. Okay. So having that, what we're going to do now is just to draw our graph. Let's get it. If you notice, based on the domain that we got, I'm trying not to let my graph pass -2 and +2. So what I'm saying is do not let your graph pass right here and right here based on the question you got. So the question suggests that, hey, the graph must stay between, the x values must stay between +2 and -2. So hence, look at that. Be careful about that part. All right. See you next time.